Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to a very special edition of Open Bar. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That young lady is.
Liz Edwards.
And Liz, where are you? You're in your backyard.
Well, actually, yes. I'm in my backyard in beautiful La Jolla.
Ah, there you go, La Jolla. So we're both in the same. We're in the same time zone. That's good.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who Liz is the founder and organizer of the San Diego Spirits Festival and Competition. And Liz, we were talking off camera. You said this should be like your 14th year of the show.
Yeah, this should be year 14 if we hadn't lost 2020. Officially year 14, but I'll take year 13. It's still, it's still a milestone. 13 years.
Absolutely. I mean, anything, if you survive anything over 5 years, it's like a tequila brand. The longer you survive, the more you've seen, right?
Yeah, and isn't it, we age better as the years go by as well.
Yeah. I'm looking quite well. And so are you. You haven't changed. You actually haven't changed. I remember.
Really? Thank you.
I remember meeting you years ago. First of all, I got to admit something. I've never been to your show because I've been living out of state actually up until 2020. For some reason, I know it's counterintuitive, but I moved back to Southern California right at September 2020 when California became ground zero again for whatever wave it was.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and but obviously there was no show last year. 2020. But so I've never been to your show, but I know about it. We've been keeping track of you because I met you the first time, and I'll probably have to say 14 years ago.
Yes.
Jolla Spirits of Mexico, and you were at the time you had a production company, and that's how I met you.
I sure did. Yeah, Let's Play Downtown. Come on.
Yeah.
It was Let's Play Downtown all over different parts of the US.
Yeah.
Where I'd run around and interview all sorts of different people. And that's how the San Diego Spirits Festival started in the end, because I ended up knowing so many people in the industry. There wasn't this sort of event here in San Diego. And as it happens, a good friend of both of us, we do know him, suggested, hey, Liz, if you don't do it in San Diego, somebody will. Lo and behold, the next year I held the first one, and here we are 13, 14 years later.
Wow.
Bigger and stronger than ever.
Yeah, I prior to you and I meeting, I used to have my own show in New Mexico. It was the first tequila show ever in the United States and we ran it for 4 years. So I know how crazy it can be. What made you? It's the same question I asked tequila makers. Why did you go into doing the show? Because I know when the crowd sees it, they're having a great time, but they don't. It's kind of like a duck or a swan. You don't see how rapidly they're swimming underneath the lake.
You said the right thing there. Everybody sees this event as being spectacular. They don't see the behind the scenes and all the hard work that goes into it. And frankly, I really don't even get to enjoy my own event. And I'd say you had the same experience when you held an event, because all we are doing is making sure that it runs perfectly, seamlessly. And it's seamlessly. Yeah. And people don't realize there's a lot of heartache that goes into putting something like this. As the festival has grown and we're getting more and more brands involved, I have to juggle, because it's obviously we have a lot of tequilas and mezcals in this festival, but that aside, we actually have whiskeys, bourbons, vodkas.
Yeah, you run the whole gamut.
We have the whole gamut, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle when you put the event together. When I put the event together and I start allocating spaces, I don't want to have the same brand or spirit next to the same category of spirit. So when someone walks around this event, they're surprised from one exhibit to the next, and they're not going to see tequila, mezcal. They're going and they're seeing everything. And the beauty about what has happened over the years, we've had a lot of people, and women in particular, that were not educated in tequila, so to speak, or even the intricacies of how to drink it. They used to think it's just a margarita. Well, wait a minute. It's not just a margarita. And you have to be careful even how you make a margarita, because you need to make it with quality spirit. Otherwise, you hear those people that keep complaining about, oh my gosh, I got such a headache after drinking tequila. Well, you know what? Because you didn't drink 100%, agave tequila.
Right.
You have to know what you're drinking.
Yeah. Well, so very much so the way you lay out the event is very much like you would a dinner party. You want to have guests next to each other. It's very much after so many years, your mind is probably, it's like a big chessboard, or like you said, a puzzle.
You got that. Yeah, you got that exactly. It's like a great big chessboard. And of course we have some consortiums of tequilas that want to be together. They're together because that's exactly what they want to do.
Right.
But then I'm not going to put them next to another tequila, because that's not what I want the attendants to see. I want them to discover and walk around and be surprised with what they have at the San Diego Spirits Festival.
When you put your first one together, if you can remember that far back.
Oh, that was I know.
When
I do remember.
When you put that first one together, and you're right, you as an organizer, you don't get to enjoy your show. You don't until everybody's gone, and then the whoever you're working with, then you sit down and somebody shows you a highball of tequila, and that's your come down. So what sort of challenges that you have then that you don't have now, that you've overcome? Because I know that first one is always tough to do, because you don't know what you're doing. You're flying by the seat of your pants, and you're hoping that it doesn't all fall apart. So
I've learned. I've learned a lot from year one to where we are today. Number one, I now have the respect of the industry. When I first started, nobody believed in me that I could pull this off. Typically, when we had these events, they were industry only events. You didn't have a spirits focused event where we had the consumer. The brands back then, all they wanted to see was industry. They didn't want to see the consumer. Well, you know what? You can't have one without the other, because your consumer is your bread and butter. You need that consumer, and you want that. You want them to know all about your brand. And number one, know about your brand. Number two, well, where can I buy it? And that is another one of the biggest challenges that we have always had in the past, because even though someone's tried something at the festival, at a lot of these different events, they can't buy it. You are not allowed to sell at the events. Well, lo and behold, what a lot of people have done now these days, they've got beautiful websites, and you could go onto their websites and you can purchase directly off their website there and then at an event. We didn't have that.
Yeah,
we have that. We have that now, which is just it's great for the brands. It's also great for the attendees, because they've tried something. Well, I want it, and I want it now, is a lot of what I see, because you want the satisfaction then and there. So that's one of the big things that I have taken away, that we've made that happen, whereas we couldn't have made that happen back in the beginning.
Yeah, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't there.
No, it wasn't there. It wasn't there. The other thing is, finding the venue that was big enough to host this event. We had our learning pains, in the beginning. The venue that we had to start with was brilliant, but we outgrew it in year one. We literally, we sold out year one. And then year two, we moved to what we thought would be the most perfect of all our venues. And we were not to know that same year, the Rock and Roll Marathon would be hosted at the venue. So we had issues with people not being able to get in and all that sort of stuff. And then year three, we moved to the Port Pavilion, which is right on the water, and it's been home to the festival for the past 10 years. It's been our home. 11 years it's been the home of the San Diego Spirits Festival. Great venue, right on the water, easy access. but we've grown up and we've moved. After all these years, we've moved the festival this year, and we've come to my home, La Jolla. So I'm now in La
Yeah,
Jolla.
where exactly will it be in 2022? This year we're
Yeah, it's
we're
exciting.
actually on time this year.
Well, it's exciting because the venue for the San Diego Spirits Festival is right in La Jolla with views of La Jolla coast. You actually got views of the ocean nearly throughout the entire space. It's the Museum of Contemporary Art in La Jolla. It has been closed for just over 2.5 years, and they've spent just over $200 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $200 million on a renovation. It's state of the art. It's just absolutely amazing, first class
Wow.
venue. And we are going to have the San Diego Spirits Festival at the venue, and the galleries will be open. You can view the art. You can't take you can't take alcohol into the main galleries, obviously, but there's plenty of places that they can, enjoy their alcohol without having to go into the galleries with it. But the views are outstanding.
Yeah, that's actually when you think about it, it really is a great pairing. Art
It is.
And beverages, the alcohol, the spirits, especially now, because even when I started my show way back, it was all about shooting. People were still shooting tequila, and we were
and that's not what it is.
Yeah, and that's not what it is. And now it's the complete opposite. Now you're catering to people who understand. It's about sipping. It's about enjoying.
Yes.
And to pair that up with a museum, that's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And not only that, it's about enjoying the alcohol, enjoying the processes that go into making the tequilas. You're tasting some amazing extra añejos, and when you learn the history behind some of these plantations, it's amazing. It truly is. So, and San Diego is so close to Mexico, and tequila obviously being the spirit of Mexico.
Yep.
We're right there. And so
it's a beautiful venue. I used to it's an admission to you. I used to live in Pacific Beach when
I'm very close to Pacific Beach.
I know you are. You're actually up further, I believe, because I think it's La Jolla TV, and then you go.
We're very, very close to each other.
And so I lived there for about a year and a half, and then moved to Rancho Penasquitos for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And then from there, I moved to New Mexico. So, like I say, I've never actually been to your show, but the cool part is Liz has been gracious enough to allow myself and several of our tequila jockeys, our TJs, to be Agave Spirits judges at your show this year.
Yeah, so, and I'm excited to have you. Really rooted, and it's going to be an amazing day of tasting spirits, because there are the biggest category is tequila, always has been, but we've got in this competition some amazing whiskey and bourbons, so they're also beautiful to see.
And you're still we're recording this in beginning of May, so we'll probably be seeing this somewhere in mid-May probably. There's still plenty of time for brands to submit to you guys, right?
There is plenty of time to submit for the competition, plenty of time to register to be part of the festival. We're actually, for the festival, I'm happy to say we're already half full. I see that the festival will sell out, only because of this amazing venue and the attendees of the event. We are targeting that affluent consumer here in obviously La Jolla, Rancho Santa Fe, Serena Valley, downtown San Diego. So, and we do have a lot of people attend the festival from out of town. It's, you know,
Oh
come
yeah.
to say, yeah, we have a lot of national and international people come just to come to the San Diego Spirits Festival. So it's really gained that momentum of a first class event, and we have a lot of entertainment at the event. You are going to be entertained.
Yeah. Oh well. It's
Yeah,
good. That
yeah.
yeah.
Say
Because
no
it seems
more. Say
like
no
the,
more.
well, now that you're in the museum, you know, that's the
Yeah,
new venue. You're
yeah.
actually creating an even larger experience. Not only are you going to have your own, you know, what you normally do for every event, but then you've got the views and you've got the
Yeah,
atmosphere, you know, and that makes a big difference. It really does. I know that
yeah,
as a organizer myself, when we did our first one, we found a historic hotel in downtown Albuquerque that was at one point your first original Hilton. A lot of folks weren't aware that Baron Hilton, the first Hilton, was from New Mexico.
yeah.
And so we were very fortunate to get that venue, and it was a beautiful venue because it was a, you know, it had a downstairs, a mezzanine, and so I
Yeah,
know that venues are so important, and
the-
it's really hard to find the right
it's
one.
part, it's part of the experience. The venue, you know, enhances the experience not only for the attendees but also for the brands that are participating. Because you know what, you're in this absolutely beautiful venue. The photographs that are taken of the product are going to be amazing.
Wow.
So,
So bring your camera.
well, bring your camera, but we've also got photographers and videographers. We actually do have a lot of media that attend, so there will be loads of photos. There always are. The attendees take lots of photos as
Okay.
well. So it really is, it's a festival, is why we call it the San Diego Spirits Festival. It's not a trade show. You're not going to see a trestle table with someone standing behind a trestle table. I actually discourage brands from doing that, because you're not doing anything to showcase your brand. You really want to showcase that beautiful liquid that's in the bottle, not just the actual bottle, but the liquid. And this is how you do it.
Yeah, you know, do you find that as your festival has grown over the years, do you find that you not only are training the consumers, but you're also training the brand owners on how they should present their
Yes.
products as well? I mean, you're really
Yeah.
taking on several hats there, lady.
You got that in one. I have to educate a lot of the brands as well as to how they need to be there to showcase themselves, because you want to be attention grabbing, not just also the consumer, but the media that's attending. They're not going to go and talk to somebody that hasn't presented themselves correctly. You want to be able to have a beautiful presentation, to be able to be a showman, because that's why you're there. You know, you spend all this money developing your product, then you're going to spend your money on marketing, and you need to make sure that that dollar that you're spending is going to pay off for you, either right now or in the future. Or you know, you have to focus on what you want out of spending that dollar.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's and yeah, we could go on and on with
Well, we
the
could
you know
we could.
with organizing, because it just you know,
Yeah,
and obviously you don't do this all by yourself. You must have
I
partners.
do.
I know I did. I had a couple at least.
No, let me say, if I had a hat right now, I'd put it on, take it off, and put on another. I wear all the hats here, Mike. Literally, I do the entire thing from planning, speaking to the brands, uh, the website, the social media. I do the lot. I do everything. I'm hands on.
Wow.
When we get to the actual festival itself, it's family members. So when you look at the San Diego Spirits Festival, we truly are a family affair. So I have my son, my daughters, best friends. They all pitch in and help.
That's
So
good, because you really, it's all hands on deck. It really is.
Yeah.
You know,
People
and what do you
yeah.
do after your show? When do you get? I mean, first, let me ask you this first. When do you
Yes.
start planning for your next show?
The month after the show ends.
So you get like 30 days to just relax and not do anything.
I get 30 days, and as it happens, the festival is the 24th and the 25th. We actually have a lot to do that first week with sending out thank yous, getting all the media uploaded, putting things away. On the Friday, the 29th, my husband and I are jumping on a plane and we're going to Greece.
Oh, good for you. Oh my God.
I'm going to Greece for 3 weeks. 3 weeks in Greece, and then I get back and I start all over again.
Wow, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what? 3 weeks in Greece, we'll forget everything. That's good.
Yeah, sailing from island to island. We love to sail, so often, brands will see or people will see. Sometimes I post. I don't usually post personally, but there'll be photos of us in different locations where we love to go sailing. So this is 3 weeks sailing on the Greek islands.
Tell us your background. I mean,
I'm Greek. I am Greek.
Okay, because I was going to say, literally, you don't come from the spirits industry.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm Australian. I was born in Australia from Greek parents, so I am first generation. I speak the language. My husband and I are entrepreneurs, so we typically love what we do and we throw ourselves into it totally. Let's Play Downtown was my previous company. Ran Let's Play Downtown for 10 years. Yes. That's what got me into the San Diego Spirits Festival. So I said, here we go. San Diego Spirits Festival is real. This is 14 years. So that's really, how I got into
an amazing feat. You know, I remember after my 4th year of doing the show, which was almost as good as the 3rd year, we had people lined up around the block to get in.
That's how we have. That's exactly how it's been for us. People line around the block to get in.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, I at that point in that era, it was easy to work with distributors, and in my case, it was Southern Wine and Spirits, because at the time they had the largest portfolio of tequilas in the U.S.
They did, yes.
And so New Mexico was kind of this was a new idea. It had never been done before. The distributor loved it. But after the 4th year, New Mexico is like Texas. It has got some unusual liquor laws, whereas California is very alcohol friendly. And
we still have some pretty tough, ABC laws.
Oh yeah,
but not as bad as New Mexico.
Oh, so the distributors were telling me, you know what? You need to get it out of Albuquerque because the current governor at the time is going to start cracking down, and they already saw the writing on the wall. And I tried to get it out of town. I only actually did four years in a row, but I wanted to do 5 because at that time I wanted it. My intentions were pure. I wanted to do it for the city because New Mexico only thrives on tourism. And they had one big event every year, which is the largest balloon fiesta in the world, is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it's called the Balloon Fiesta. And I wanted something similar to that for the state. That's what I wanted to do. And politically, it was just not possible. So after 4 years, I tried getting it in Santa Fe, and it was just too much. And so I stopped. And and that's really sad because I feel that I was asked, and are you being asked? That's my question. Are you being asked to take it out of state and go someplace as well? In other words,
I'm being asked all the time. Bring it to Los Angeles. Bring it to here.
They asked me to go Dallas, Denver.
People don't realize how much work goes into putting something like this on. And I don't work with distributors. I work with brands. Most of the time, I'm working with the distiller, unless I'm working with.
You're herding cats. You're herding cats.
That's right. Unless I'm working with, some of the big boys, and they have a portfolio of various brands that they bring in. But most of the time, you'll find at the San Diego Spirits Festival, you'll actually see the distiller will be there, and you can actually speak to them. So that's the beauty about this event. So just like you, I've been asked to take it to different places. And honestly, I've considered it, but I'm happy with where I am with the San Diego Spirits Festival. What happens in a couple of years, I don't know. I don't know what I may or may not do, but right now it's an event that is a San Diego event.
Yeah, it's a destination event. I was lucky enough to watch some of the social media from the people that I know who went to your show, and there was Gildardo Partida, and there's all the anybody who's anybody is there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If you know Gildardo Partida, he owns Aficionado, Tequila.
Right.
He actually owns quite a number of other brands as well. And he's built the castle in Guadalajara right now. He actually took me to Guadalajara last year when it was the anniversary of Adictivo, which he actually launched at the San Diego Spirits Festival. It was just an amazing event that he put together. And so he really is a huge supporter of the event. He enters into the competition every year. He does very well. He loves getting those medals.
Oh, yeah.
And I said to him, Gerardo, you've already medaled. You got platinum. You got double gold on Adictivo. Let's get some of the other brands this time around, but that he is a huge supporter, and Gildardo.
Yeah, we've actually never met, but we've communicated over email several times over the years. That's kind of why I wondered, if you'd ever considered moving it, because like I say, had I been smarter and not put my heart in the city, I probably I would have moved it. Just to do it. But what people don't realize is that you forge these relationships in the cities that you're in. I mean, you'd have to go to another city, learn everybody else who the players are, and it's like starting over, and
not necessarily for the San Diego Spirits Festival, because a lot of the brands that I speak to, they're not necessarily from San Diego. They're from all over the US. So I have forged relationships nationally and internationally. I have Australian brands in the festival, for instance.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
I'm so looking forward to what Australia is going to do real soon with their spirit.
You know what? Australia is doing really well in a lot of categories right now. It's amazing to see, and especially now that they've lifted all of these strong curfews that they've had with COVID. It was very hard to go in and out of Australia. Now it's becoming a lot more easier, especially for me, being Australian. It was hard to get back. I actually did go. I was there in January, which was great. It was great seeing my family, but a lot is going to come out of Australia.
Yep, a lot of they're really serious about building their blue agave spirit.
They are.
We have had for our competition, we have a yearly one at the Tequila Aficionado, and that's our promise. And we have had, in the last couple of years, we've had submissions from New Zealand. We have had a small distiller in Australia who sent us some samples. Matter of fact, I'm lining up I have a taster in the UK, and I do my tastings with him. And I'm so looking forward to trying what is coming from Australia. And I'm really excited because they about Top Shelf International, and they're building. They have the plantations going. I don't know how old those plants are, but they're taking care of those babies like.
Yeah, they are.
They're just, and I can't wait. For them to come to the market and see what they're going to do, because this plant, the agave plant, is just, it really picks up the terroir wherever it's grown.
Well, Australia is the climate in Australia is pretty conducive to the agave plant.
Yeah.
When you look at the terrain and the climate of Australia, so pretty much like, Guadalajara and Jalisco and the rest of it, you'll find the same sort of climates in Australia.
Well, the Australia is
Yeah.
known for their wines, the Australian wines.
Oh, yes.
And they have all
Australia's
these different
famous.
microclimates and growing regions,
Yeah.
very much like France. So it
True.
figures that
It figures.
yeah,
Yeah.
it figures that they would start, with the blue agave, and as a matter of fact, that one small distiller uses agave Americana, so
Yeah.
theirs is a little bit different.
I'd be interested to see, because isn't the agave pretty much regulated and in Mexico, because they're not allowed to call something 100% agave until they've been certified.
Yes.
So I'd be interested to see how they're doing that.
Well, they're not gonna. First of all, they can't. They're not gonna call
can't.
it tequila. They can't. So
They can't call it tequila. That's
Yeah.
that's where I was going with that.
But they have the gentleman who is heading up that program, that project for Top Shelf. I don't know if you know who he is, Trent Frazier. Trent was the gentleman involved, used to work for Louis Vuitton, that owned Volcán de mi Tierra. And he was responsible for putting Volcán de mi Tierra on the map. And the master distiller was Ana Maria Romero Mena, who makes Corrido, and she's doing Inspiros, all these wonderful brands. Everything she touches turns to gold.
Well, we want that. We need some gold.
Oh yeah. And so they couldn't have hired a better guy to lead that project, because he knows how to make it. He knows what it takes to move it on the market. So it's just it's another blue agave spirit. And now that the TTB has that category, eventually they'll come to the United States. They're gonna. They
will. They will. They're going.
So I'm really excited to see how that all
how
that blooms, like a good glass of tequila, how it's going to bloom for them.
Yeah, you know what? Anything that Australians touch turns to gold.
Yes.
Look at me. I'm the Aussie that started the San Diego Spirits Festival.
There you go. And she's got gold. Now you're handing out gold.
Medals
and platinums. Yeah. The interesting thing is, like I said, Liz has let a large contingent of TJs, of tequila jockeys, our tasters throughout the U.S. come into and be tasters for the event. Now we'll be coming in the month before. That's how big this show is, folks. We have to come in and judge the tasting the month before, because what happens between then and when you and September, when you have the show? What like your
you
toughest,
know what?
The toughest 30 days?
The reason we have the tasting the month before, we have so many entries that we need to get those, blind tasted. We need to get the scores. We need to work out who won what, and then the medals are ordered. And typically the lead time to get the medals is about 3 weeks. And I like to have those medals at the festival, because I give them out. The brands that are at the festival, most of them have entered the competition, and so they like to have that medal. Either they wear it around their neck, they put it on their bottles. They're very, very proud. People like Delgado, and then another one of my dear friends who has Tinta Negra tequila.
Oh yeah,
he had so many medals last year. It was amazing. So they love to have those medals, and they walk around wearing them, displaying them. So it takes a while after we do the competition, and from the competition to the festival, it's like we need that next 4 weeks to basically regroup and get things done for the main event.
Yeah, that's really crunch time
when I see August is here, I know, oh my God, we're here. It's crunch time.
What is it that keeps you sane?
What keeps me sane?
I was very fortunate. I had 2 other partners, and so we would split the responsibilities. And my responsibility was always to talk down the owner of the venue, because always on the day of the event, somebody wants, I got to talk him off his ledge, so I'm the one that doesn't get interviewed for on camera. So what drives you nuts? What keeps you sane?
What keeps me sane? My husband keeps me sane. He's my support system. I support him. He supports me. Having that first drink each night after I finish work. I've actually started a little early. It is Cinco de Mayo today, so
Oh,
we have
yes.
started.
Yeah,
We
we
have
are.
started a little bit. Actually we start setting up the festival on the Friday, so all the dramas start to come in on the Friday. You know, brands wanting this, brands wanting that, the demands of, oh, I forgot my electrical cord, or where's the ice? Well, the ice is not here till tomorrow. We got, all these little things running from one end of the venue to the other. Well, we've got 5 different areas we're going to be running to this time round. So we have a little bit of a learning curve, but we know what we're doing because we've done it so many years. I won't say it's cookie cutter, but because we have done it time and time again, we know what we have to do. The hardest part is when they throw new permits at you at the last minute. All of a sudden, there's another permit that has to be had. We had that happen to us last year. Last year, we had to get 68 permits.
Wow. Just to hold the event?
68 different permits. Yep. They not only, you've got the alcohol beverage control, you've got Department of Health and Environmental Services, you've got the fire department, you've got the Port Authority, you've got, and it goes, and the list goes on and on and on. And then they threw at us at the last minute, the week of the festival last year, every brand had to have a Department of Environmental Health permit as well as the ABC permit.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, my dear husband, is running around getting permits, and you've got to get each brand to give you the correct details that are required by DEH as well as ABC. It's like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
Get people.
It really is. Like, talk about herding cats and then getting information from them. Yeah, it's
yeah. And a lot of the times I just resort to going to their websites or going onto LinkedIn to get the information that I need, because we need it now. I can't wait 24 hours when this department says to you, we want X number of permits and it's going to cost you X amount of dollars for each one of those permits. You sit back and you go, why do I do the event?
Yeah.
So that happened to us last year. So we are well aware of what the requirements are, and we're going to have everything done in time this year. So that's why I said, hopefully we don't have another new permit thrown at us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's and like I said, as the festival grows, the problems grow as well, because it gets bigger, then you don't realize you need this and you need that. And it goes from permits to where's the electrical, where's my socket,
well, there's that's the sort of stuff. We have an electrician who happens to be one of my husband's really good friends. He's our electrician. So he shows up on the Friday and he's hands-on. Anybody needs help, he's helping as well. So we've got everything we need is there. And the beauty about the actual festival, even with the new venue, we don't have to deal with a union. People don't like in that convention center, you're dealing with unions and you can't even pick up your own product. We don't have any of that. So that's one of the benefits that the brands really enjoy, that they can carry everything themselves. They don't have to worry about this third party having to do anything for them.
Good. That's good, because
some
of these brands, as you well know, some of them run on shoestring budgets.
They do. They run on everybody's on a shoe. I'm on a shoestring. I try and make everything work and make everything look like it's seamless and effortless. But in the back, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
But no, you don't see that.
No, nobody sees that, because what you see is the public having a great time. And I'll share one with you, but I want to hear yours first. What is the best compliment you've ever gotten? When after your event and it's from the public, Has there been some person, just some stranger who showed up to your event?
The-
What was what was the
some of the
nicest thing that
yeah,
person ever said to you?
yeah. Some of the best comments I've had are from the military. We donate tickets to the Make-A-Wish Foundation for the military, and they come up to me and they thank me, give me hugs. I walk around the event and people come up to me. Oh my gosh, you're Liz. Please, can we take a photo with you? We love everything that you do. I went, wow, I'm a celebrity now. I get a lot of people wanting to take a photograph with me, which makes me smile at the same time. But I'm just an ordinary person. I'm not anybody special. I'm just the person that puts the event on.
Well, I was going to say that that's got to be an odd feeling for you, because you started, behind the camera and
I did.
behind the mic. That's what you did. And so it's got to be weird to have somebody flip that and go, "Oh, can I take a selfie with you?" Now it's a selfie, then.
I get people wanting to take selfies. Some of the
what's the one thing that somebody said to you that just touched you? I mean, I would imagine the military is a good one, but has there been something like, what was your first one? When somebody said to you, that sometimes if one person thanks you, it's been worth it.
They said this is the best event that they've ever been to, and they look forward to coming to it year after year after year. Wow. And I've had people that have been to this festival from the very, very first one, and they keep coming back. I actually had this comment only 2 days ago. Liz, I'm thrilled that the event is back and that you were not stopped because of COVID, and you still had the event last year, and here we are, you're having it again this year. There's some of the comments that I get from people that, make me go, okay, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah. There was a time, that one year that we had them wrapped around the block.
Yeah.
When we were done, we all, myself, Ron Cooper, some of the other guys from Southern, we're all they had installed a floating bar downstairs of the hotel. And again, it's a historic hotel, so you can see from the downstairs, see the mezzanine, and the people are milling around, having a great time, eating tacos and whatever. And I'm standing there with Ron Cooper, and Ron says, "So Mike," he says, "are you ready to do a 2-day event? Highlands one day, Lowlands the next?" And I said, "Hell no." And Ron Cooper, for those of you who don't know, he is the founder of Del Maguey, Single Village Mezcals. And at the time, I was not aware he was living in Taos. So he was one of our first supporters years and years and years ago. That's why I've known him forever. And when I was talking to Ron, this lady came up, and she'd had a few, you could tell, but she was really nice. She goes, "Are you the organizer?" I said, "I'm one of 3 partners." Yeah. And she says, "I want to thank you." And I said, "I should be thanking you. You bought a ticket, And she says, "No, I want to thank you for giving me a nightlife." And it was one of the kindest, most sincere things I'd ever heard from anybody in all the 3-4 years we did it. And I said, "Well, you're very welcome, and I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself, because that kind of compliment, you're right, that gives you the feeling that you're doing it right. You did the right thing, because how many times in that year you're prepping, you're going, why am I doing this? Why?
That's true. Yeah. Well, just a quick change of subject. I've run 16 marathons. I've competed. I used to be a competitive runner. And I do remember one of the marathons that I ran, I think it was Sacramento, I can't remember at the time. And we finished the marathon. You're exhausted, absolutely exhausted. And then someone says to me, "Hey, Liz, do you want to go and run Hawaii?" I went, "Sure, let's go and run Hawaii," which was the following week. But of course, I didn't go and run Hawaii the following week. But I did do another marathon 3 weeks later. So it's the same thing, pain is there. It's the enjoyment of what I'm doing that keeps me going. And that's why there'll always be a San Diego Spirits Festival.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those big words. That's a big promise to the city of San Diego. Well, for the county, for that matter, and the state.
Yeah. They need to turn around and support me a little bit better, but we'll see about that.
Yeah. Well, Do you foresee any new challenges now that you're going to be in a new venue like the museum? I know you say you like to lay out the booths in a certain way.
I'm I think some of the challenges will be you've got some people that loved the event downtown, they live downtown, they walk to the venue. They are now going to have to get an Uber and come to La Jolla.
Right.
Okay, get an Uber. I don't want you to drive. That's a challenge for those people. The other, challenge is I have to get a new audience as well. Let people know here in La Jolla, hey, we brought the event to you. Step up to the plate, La Jolla. Come to the San Diego Spirits Festival.
Wow. Yeah, that because you really are cultivating forging new relationships, even with just customers, for that matter.
Yeah.
So
and I don't think that there's going to be an issue. The La Jolla Merchants Association have actually are supporting the event, so it's
good.
I don't think I'm going to have an issue there at all. It's just that here we are. We've been downtown now for all these years, and we've now moved to La Jolla. And there's a lot of people that don't live in San Diego. They don't know where La Jolla is. They call us La Jolla, but we're not La Jolla. We are La Jolla.
La Jolla. Yeah, no. All of California knows where La Jolla is. So, but outside other states, they probably don't.
Yeah, they don't. They probably they know La Jolla for the seals. Okay, we've got the seals, but there's a lot to be had here in La Jolla.
It's a nice little hamlet. I used to frequent it. I frequented it lots of times, and like I said, I lived in PV. We were right next door. So La Jolla Cove was always our favorite. And there's lots of little things that you can literally walk to a French bakery. Get yourself a cup.
There's so much.
There's
so many. It's
very homey.
So many great restaurants. We've got some great bars here. It actually gets pretty busy now that we've got spring and summer's coming up. This is a really busy town at the moment, so it's going to be fantastic. We don't have loads of hotels that you'd have downtown, but we've got some beautiful hotels here as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and I haven't been back in a while. One of our tasters, Rick Levy, lives in
Rick
lives in Escondido.
But he's pretty close.
Also, it turns out that Dave Dinius, he's done a couple of events with us anyway. He's moving back. So,
I know. I heard.
Yeah, so he'll be living in San Diego too. So it'll be kind of cool.
It'll be really cool.
A lot of people aren't aware that most of our tasters, I tell people we grew up with the internet. Alex, our founder, and myself, we have been drinking and dissecting tequila for years. First, it was audio when we didn't have video, and then YouTube came around, and
Alex
kind of grew up, the internet, and now we're on every platform, you name it, we're on it. And so with some of these tasters, I've not met them in person. Now we've communicated over the years, like maybe 5 years. But we've never been in the same place together, and so we're gonna be, a lot of us that are coming have never met physically, and so
this is going to be really good. And you're all staying at the same hotel, so hopefully you all carpool together.
Oh yeah.
So there's a great team of judges going to be here.
Yeah, you've got a nice stable of judges actually. You haven't checked out her website. Tell everybody what the website, the address is.
The website is pretty easy, San Diego Spirits Festival.com. And all the information is there, information for the brands, information for the bottle competition, and then information for attendees to purchase tickets. Everything is there. So, and then obviously as I get closer, the schedule will go up. Right now I don't have the schedule up there. As I get closer, that'll go up. The brands will go up. Basically I'll have a whole page with the sponsoring brands up there, and then when the medals are awarded, I will have the winning brand, and the results will be on the website. The results from last year are still there. I have not taken them down because Well, there's no reason to take them down. I'll take them down when the new ones go up.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever been asked to consult on other shows out of state?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I am available, but right now I'm so entrenched with the San Diego Spirits Festival that my focus really is on that. I have been asked before, but the timing wasn't right. The timing right now over the next 2 months, yes, I could be available, but as I get closer to this event, I'm not available for
Oh yeah.
much of anything.
No, and now that now that it's grown so large,
Yeah.
that it takes up the majority of your time. I mean,
Well, it does.
yeah.
It
I
does,
mean, if
yeah.
you're only giving yourself a 30-day window and then start planning for the next one, you gotta.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find? Well, let me ask you this: if somebody were to pick your brain or just ask you,
Yeah.
I want to do my own show. I live in Peoria. I don't know, somewhere.
Yeah.
What would you tell that person? What would you say to that person?
Good luck. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as you think. You need to forge relationships. You need to know your area. You need to know your customer. It's nowhere near as easy as you think. And there are so many permits that you have to get to hold any sort of event like this, especially when alcohol is involved. It's not easy.
Yeah.
People and a lot of these other big events, they've got boards and they've got partners. I don't. It's me. It's only because I've done it for so many years that I know what I'm doing.
Do you ever wish you had a partner? I mean, but outside of your husband.
Do I ever wish I had a partner?
Yeah.
No. I don't want to answer to anybody. I answer to one person only, myself. I can make decisions on the fly. I do ask my husband sometimes, but I make the final decision. And that is, I think, the beauty of the festival. When someone calls or I make a phone call, they're talking to me. They're not talking to somebody else. So I think that's been one of the successes for this event, that I am so hands-on. Getting windy in my backyard.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't aware that your business is a female-owned festival. I mean,
it is.
It's
a female.
Others that I know, like I say, I've been asked, or I know of several festivals. They have partners or their families or whatever, Yeah. But have you found that's nobody's ever stopped to think that your festival is a female-owned business, because
nobody's asked that. Nobody's
because they do it with tequila and they do it with mezcal, and it's right now the equality movement has gained traction again.
Yeah.
But you've been there in the trenches all along. Nobody's ever said anything about that.
No, I've been here in the trenches all along. Nobody said anything. I haven't gotten any grants or anything like that because I'm a woman-owned business. Nothing like that. I just, keep doing what I'm doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That really is a testament to your festival. And now that you have a new venue, I'm so looking forward to seeing how it turns out. But knowing what I know about organizing, if I run into you, I'm probably going to be talking you down off your lap. How are you doing? Are you okay?
People ask me all the time at the event, how am I? Typically, when we've had the event downtown, you'd find me looking after the VIP area. I tend to look after the VIPs. I also look after all the brands and make sure I go and I walk around and I speak to every single brand, making sure that they're okay, that if they need anything, I make sure that we get it for them. So I'm pretty much hands-on there. It'll be the same this year. It won't be any different. The bottle competition, you'll find me serving the tastings to the judges. I'm actually behind the scenes there as well.
Yeah, I was surprised that you're going to have it at your house.
We love it.
Is that a tradition for you? Have you done it always that way?
No, we haven't always had it here. We in 2020, when COVID hit, we still had the bottle competition. And we had a lot of entries. I couldn't get a venue to host the event for 2020 because typically what I've done is I've the hotel where the judges stay at, I usually rent out the one of the conference rooms,
Right.
and then I rent out a second room. Typically I rent out 3 rooms, one for the judges, one for us doing the setup, and then one for staging. So with 2020, I couldn't get a venue. I went, well, let's have it at the house. We had it at the house. It was such a huge success. The judges loved it because they felt more comfortable that they were in my home. So then last year we had it here again. And then same thing happened last year. I put a brunch on. We put a big brunch on that we set up inside, and the judges went, Liz, can we have it at your house from now on? I went, sure. And we were hoping that my small extension and the new kitchen would be done in time. Well, we weren't aware that San Diego permits take this long. So
Yeah.
we're still not done. We will be done by next year, but it's still going to be great. We're having it at the house.
Sure. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I know. I was talking to one of my other tasters. We're recording, and he says, "Yeah, I wonder how big her house is because that
It's not that
our own contingent's kind of a lot of people.
It's
your judges, there's so many of them. So it's,
yeah, we could do it. We do it. We're going to be tables of 6, or ideally, I'd like to do tables of 8, so we get a really nice balance of how many judges are tasting each particular flight. But if I have to do, extra tables of 6, we'll do extra tables of 6. We could do it. We've done it before. We'll do it again. If I have to use my entire backyard and my entire front yard to house all the judges, we'll do that.
I get the table under that tree. Okay.
You can have the table under the tree.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want folks to know before the start of the show? What do you want to say to the public? I mean, they're gonna be seeing this video real shortly, actually.
Well, I hope that you edit a lot because it's quite a long session. Anyhow, what I want to tell the general public: get your tickets, guys. The prices are slightly higher than last year, not a lot higher. We have a more expensive venue that we are at. Everything has gone up. I've had to absorb a lot of costs in the past, but when you come to this event, everything is included. You're not going to have to get a stamp book or click little, ticket coupons. It is unlimited, but drink responsibly.
Of course.
Take an Uber, take a Lyft, get someone to be your driver. We do have tickets for those that just want to drive and not drink. So, and there will be lots of entertainment. We have changed the Saturday hours. We're starting at 3:00 and ending at 7 because we want to take advantage of this beautiful La Jolla sunset.
Good move.
We are going to have a beautiful sunset that people can see. People come to La Jolla for the sunset.
Yeah.
So you'll get we'll get the sunset. Saturday and Sunday tickets. So yeah, buy your tickets, guys.
There you go. You heard it from Liz Edwards. You have been watching and listening to Open Bar, a very special edition. I'm Mike Morales of Southern California. We have been speaking with Liz Edwards, who is the founder and runner and everything else, a showrunner for the San Diego Spirits Festival. And as this was a great hour, I had no idea that you were the one-man band. You
had no idea.
Wow. No, but I'm glad. I'm glad I finally had a chance to do
this. If I can just turn around.
Sure.
Okay. There we go. These are the cards. Can you see them? These are the save the date cards. Actually, I think I sent them to Lisa. I sent these graphics for you, but if I haven't, I'll send it again. So I picked these up today, so I'm excited.
Oh, right. Excellent. I should have asked you. I should have asked you about your color scheme. Did you pick those out too? The colors,
Yes, and this is the colors of the festival. So I've kept the color scheme going in the save the date cards. The background photograph that we've used is actually the museum.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. And if Lisa doesn't, send you the graphics, I'll send you the graphics.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So listen, folks, if you're gonna go to San Diego in September, this is the show to go to. It is probably it is, as far as I know now, the longest running show in the United States, and it doesn't just encompass tequila and mezcal. It's got everything. Everything. So if if you happen to be, binge watching and you're a gin drinker, this is your show. If you're into vodkas, if you're into wines, all that stuff, this is
Whiskey,
whiskeys and bourbons. Yeah, we have a lot of viewers in the South, which is big bourbon country.
Yeah.
This is the show, the one you want to fly into. This is the one you want to see.
This is the one you want to go to.
Yes. Thank you, Liz, for being with me here at Open Bar. I so appreciate it. I'm glad we had a chance to catch up. Like I said, at the beginning of this hour, I hadn't seen you in probably over 15 years since you started the show.
Well, you'll get to see me in person in a few months' time.
Yes, we're all excited. All of our guys are excited to be at your home, which is kind of it's different for us.
Different.
But hey, it should be fun. We're gonna have a great time. And I'm so looking forward to it. And folks, again, get your tickets, because this is, as you said, it's going to sell out. It sells out every year.
Sells out every year. Wonderful. Look, thank you so much for having me, everybody.
Thank you for being here, Liz. You all have a great rest of the day. And thanks for watching an Open Bar. Don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the notification bell, subscribe, give us a like, because that helps us on the algorithm. And whatever you do, sip wisely.